Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala barakatuh. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Alhamdulillah, with the grace, mercy and guidance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, biiznillah, we can continue our da'wah through Khalifa Education Foundation and Post-Islamic Psychology. We are doing all our training program on YouTube. We have many YouTube channel, Islamic Psychology PIP, Islamic Motivation PIP, and we have the new channel on Ilmu Tauhid Kalam Cosmology. Those interested in Kalam Cosmology and how to defend Islam from the perspective of Ilmu Tauhid and many other. The whole idea is we want to train you in many modules, that is the modules of Islamic motivation, coaching, mentoring, counseling, Islamic counseling also. Inshallah, in the future we'll have our Islamic online counseling center. And finally, module 5 is how we have in the 21st century Islam heart of love to bring about a deen full of love, mercy, compassion, the intrinsic value of Islam, of living with peace, harmony and justice with all humanity and all goodly creatures, and avoid the climate change. So we do that, we must transform ourselves, our family, the ummah and globally. So to bring this about, because we barely have time with climate disaster and mass species extinction. Maybe we have only about 30 years to move away from carbon intensive fossil fuel civilization to a carbon neutral civilization, so that we can avoid the catastrophe of our own self-destruction. So what is important that we Muslims must be able to understand the basis of Iman, Islam and Ihsan, and how we are going to lead life based on the understanding of our nature. That means our nature is we have our roh, our qalb, our akal and our jasad. So we are a composite being. We have 4 domains, and our nafs is the interaction of our roh, qalb, akal and jasad. So when we know that, then we are just not a physical being. We are not just a physical being. The atheists will say that we are just a physical being, we exist in the physical world and then we'll die and that's it. Alright, that is their worldview. Alright, so they are taking only one component of our reality, the domains of the physical, the material, physicalism and materialism and atheism. But if we believe that we are more than that, then we have this greater value system that we can promote to the world. So Islam is that greater value system, and we have our post-Islamic psychology model to bring you about the greater understanding of your feelings, emotion and thoughts at a higher level. Right? That means in integrating our spiritual existence and physical existence, we can transform our physical environment, our social environment and our inner speech to create a positive perception of our existence on this earth, and then have the complete self, that means our total past learning history, and then become more positive and bring us towards success, or more negative that bring us towards disaster. So now we are on the path of disaster, so that's why this model is very important. So I want to give you an understanding which I have given to you on the Fita and Tifa model. Alright, so I want to repeat again. At the higher level of our integration, we have feelings from the higher realm. That means the realm of the spiritual, the realm of the qalb, the higher consciousness from the heart, and the realm of the akal. The akal is not just a mind, a brain, but the mind. So they call it the universal mind, or the universal consciousness, or the universal creator. Alright? Whatever they call, for Muslims we have another definition. Allah is the absolute, so He is beyond even what you call universal consciousness. So quite a number of, for example, other philosophical tradition, they refer back to the universal consciousness. Consciousness is one aspect of the attributive aspect of the Creator. He is all powerful, all knowing, He's omniscient, He's omnipotent, He's have power, kudrat, iradat and so on. So when we rely on the higher level of thinking, we have our feeling. F is for feelings, E for emotion, T for thoughts at the higher level, and then our A is for action. So if our action is based on this higher realm of connection with Allah, or with God, or with the higher universe, or with the universal consciousness, or with the universal creator, whatever name that you want to use, then you are using your full potential. Your full potential. That means you have the full potential of your spirit, your heart, your mind and your physical body interacting. So that gives you a balance. And that balance will bring you happiness, joy, tranquility, fulfillment, achievement, success, whatever that you dream of. Because this journey of life is just not a physical being. We are not like monkeys or cats or dogs or pigs. We just don't eat, sleep, have sex, and then procreate and then die. No. We have a higher purpose and a higher meaning. And the whole reason why I can reason with you, I can explain to you, is because we have higher feelings. We have higher feelings at the realm of the spiritual, emotional and mental. We have the higher emotional level, higher thoughts, and this higher action bring us towards the success with the permission of Allah. And all this, whether our journey towards success or failure, is dependent on our ubudiyah, our submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and seeking the path from Him, because He is biyadikal khair. Biyadikal khair, in His hand is all things good. So He is always promoting you towards goodness. So He is the Creator who is always in His hand, is always good. But He has given the opportunity to do evil. So evil is coming from the Creator, in the sense that He's giving you opportunity to choose whether to go up or to go down. So that choice is your choice. That's why in Islam we have what we call limited free will. A free will to decide which direction we want to go towards a fulfilling of our potential. So our potential is this. This is the highest potential. Maybe for the highest potential for a person, maybe he can become a great person like Imam Ghazali. Alright, in the past. So he's a new Imam Ghazali in the 21st century or 22nd century. Or he can fall down to become the worst of the worst. He can become a drug addict and then die in the streets of New York. It can be. Alright? So that potentiality is exercised by moving towards the understanding of how we can integrate our inner feelings, our inner spiritual domain with our heart domain and with our mind domain, and then this will give positive vibes or positive vibration or positive ideas or positive institution. Intuitive. In Islam we call it ilham, where you get this. So this comes well before your thoughts. Remember, at this level it is thoughts only, but well before your thoughts, this higher domain of interaction is giving you the higher feelings of goodness, the higher feelings of connectedness with the Creator, with the universe, with all creatures. It's just like when you look at the sun setting and the birds are singing, the clouds are rolling. What do you see? You don't see yourself. Yourself is lost in all this grandeur. And then when you see all that, you say, Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, wa la ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar. You see, wow. And you are nothing. And that is the reality. We are a creature of nothingness. But when you see this grandeur of just one sunset with the birds singing and the crowd rolling, you are giving yourself an opportunity to connect to the Absolute, to the realm of His being, His divine presence, because He also tells in Al-Quran, وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ إِبَادِي أَنِّي قَرِيبٌ. When my servant question about me, tell them, I'm near, I'm close to you. So if you look at what He has created, you see the closeness of Him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and from then you can understand why we have these feelings, emotion and thoughts at a high level, and how we should avoid having thoughts, emotion and feelings, TEFA, mode of living, which brings to negativity, brings to destruction, and brings to the destruction of humanity, and as well as the climate and this good earth. So inshallah, I will give you more detail in the understanding so that we can then make the right choice towards FET and avoid TF, and integrate the two together so that we can have the fulfillment of Iman, Islam and Ihsan, the fulfillment of peace, happiness, joy, success in this world and the hereafter, and the realization of the grandeur of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, always knowing that we are His sincere servant, His Khalifa on this earth, striving to make ourselves good, helping others to be good, and making the world good, inshallah.